Well, hey there, it's Alka.
I'm Jen, and welcome to another episode of the Creative and Ambitious Entrepreneur Podcast. And today we are talking about the 6 best side hustles to make and earn $1,000 a month.
Yeah, it's something a little bit different than our usual all about Zazzle, because we want to also help you understand that there are other things out there, but how do they compare to Zazzle in the first place? And we've tried a lot of these other options, or we're still using them, and we want to give you some perspective and also some options for you in case you don't know anything about the Zazzle platform, which is the one that we've done the best on in terms of earning and long-term success. So if you don't know our story, Jen and I have been on Zazzle since 2008. And combined, we have sold over $15 million worth of Zazzle products on the platform, and that has combined given us a $1.5 million income as a payout from Zazzle because of the way that Zazzle works. And it's exciting, but it's maybe something that you haven't even been aware of and don't know, but you know about some of these other things, and maybe you've tried these and you've realized, well, they're really hard. It sounds so great when people are online, giving you this advice. Oh, do this. It's simple. It's easy, right? Because you probably saw our article or our podcast along with other articles like this, where it's like so many best ways to make a side hustle. And we want you to hear from us as people who've been through all this experience and who have tried certain things, and to get us to give you our perspective as to what does really work and what might be more difficult than one expects because of the way they're marketing it, especially since you know so much about maybe some of these other side hustles because you've read so many articles on them. But very few people know about Zazzle, right? Mm. And it's such a hard concept to explain, but once people get it, they understand the significance of all the pluses that come through with that concept and that business model. And some people don't even understand that you can make money on the Zazzle platform. So we're here to help you understand where you can find a side hustle that can give you $1,000 a month. And Zazzle's obviously one of them, but we're going to leave that one till the end. In the meantime, let's go through the other ones that we have put together as our list.
Mm-hmm. So the first one is an affiliate marketer or blogger, and I've had firsthand experience doing this, where you sign up for a certain affiliate marketing program, and you are either putting it on your blog or just putting it on, email marketing or whatever. People refer to places to shop like Creative Market, Walmart, Amazon, Home Depot. There's a whole bunch of them. A lot of big businesses have affiliate marketing programs that you can sign up for and then either create, even like a Pinterest post where you're putting in affiliate links to send people to other links to buy things, and then you earn a percentage, which is awesome. Some of those places, and especially there's one that was one that I signed up for a really long time called conjunctive something, where if you don't, and also Amazon as well, if you don't sell a certain percentage during a certain amount of time, like within the month, then you're actually taken out of the program, and you have to make that amount of money or not, and you're not allowed to be part of the program, and you have to re-sign up. And if you don't have a good following, let's say on your blog or your social media, then those things don't actually convert really well. Mm-hmm. But at the same point in time, if you enjoy doing that and you have a big following, let's say on social media or on a blog, then that's a really great way for you to earn money. Then there's other platforms which are more of the services and like online stuff, not the physical products, which are like Bluehost and HostGator, and then ClickFunnels and Infusionsoft and Shopify, where you're able to actually earn money by selling products online, and also earning an affiliate amount of money because people are buying a service online or using something online, right? They're not buying a physical product. They're using it for their business, or they're using it for some sort of design or creative aspect.
Yeah, whether that's like a web hosting service or like hosting an e-commerce shop like the Shopify, or ClickFunnels is a program where you can set up pages so that you can sell things. And so each of those services, they really value the customer. So that's their biggest problem, is getting more customers to their service. And so if you help drive that customer to that service and they sign up, then they reward you quite well, including like for Shopify. I believe at the time of this podcast that you can get paid about $2,000 for every person that you drive directly to Shopify and get them to sign up and use the Shopify services to do drop shipping. And so that's a lot of money for one person, right? Just give Shopify that lead. And so it can be very lucrative, or as Jen said, you can also get kicked out if you don't actually put your quota in. So yeah, it sounds amazing, but obviously you have to be a really good marketer and have a lot of influence or contacts that you can persuade to bring people to whatever it is that you want to be an affiliate of.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the number one, affiliate marketing or blogging. How about number two?
The second one is a Facebook or Instagram influencer. A lot of people nowadays, and my generation, let's say the millennials or even the younger generation, they're creating all these crazy social media accounts that are very viral, and you are able to then use your social media account to provide, let's say, an advertisement to people who follow you. So you can do unboxing, you can do product reviews, or you can be a brand ambassador. And the rates are based on your numbers. So at the beginning, you could probably get into the game, let's say, quote unquote, of being a brand ambassador or selling things online with your social media account by buying the products and then showcasing them to your followers. But then afterwards, if you have a really big following, some of the brand names, let's say, and I'm giving an example, any type of jewelry company or sports company or tech company, even if you make an ad or a video or a reel or a post, sometimes the influencer, aka you can charge $200 to $400 a post, or even more depending on how many followers you have, which is really wonderful and great. But that gives a lot of pressure on you to have that amount of people who are following you, and you have to keep on building those posts and giving that viral content, because it is very much in the moment, right? Social media is always fast acting, and like we always say, the thumb scrolling type thing, where you need to have a post that it will make somebody stop and look at it and actually want to watch it, because if not, we're consuming so many things at this point in time in this day and age where people don't really stop and appreciate all the stuff. It needs to be something extremely special and extremely over the top, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, and I'm not going to be dancing, just to let you know. But that's what's really happened, especially not so much on Facebook, but Instagram definitely, and TikTok for sure.
Yeah.
And as we're going to add a link here in the show notes. So don't forget that even though you're listening to this as a podcast, on our website under the podcast link or section, we have show notes where we actually add even more details and links and things like that for you to consume, in addition to watching the actual podcast on YouTube or listening to it on one of your favorite podcast service providers. So make sure that you check this one out, because it's a really cool article that we've come across that will give you not only rates based on your number of followers, but a little bit more about the statistics and which platforms are better. And so it's going to be really good for you to get a start there if that's what you want to do, and you do have a following that you can keep building and growing. And it can be something really interesting. It doesn't have to be, and I'm making a joke about the dancing. It's not just, sexy girls dancing. It's about people who are interested in something very unique, right? It could be, how to make candy apples, or how to, we follow this really cool guy who creates things out of chocolate.
Yeah. And
his content is viral, right? So if that's the kind of person you are and that's the kind of following you have on social media, then you can leverage this a lot more and not maybe even earn just a little bit of money, but a lot of money depending on the number of followers. So good luck with that one. It's awesome. It's fun. It's very much fly by night. If you can be a sensation one day and next week you can be not even interesting anymore. So we don't like that part of that aspect. We've tried some of that, right, in our past years of being online and marketing, and it just takes a certain kind of person. So if that's you, then that's awesome. But if you want something long term where you can have passive income, which you don't have to always like do the next best thing for.
And hustle.
That's a good word for it.
Hustle, and then also be an extreme extrovert, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of us as creatives, and myself and Elka, we are here now online doing podcasts and on Instagram and everything, and we're doing courses, which is wonderful. But when we first started out on Zazzle, we were very much behind the computer, and we didn't want to be seen by anyone. And it's not that we are, like extreme, introverts. It's just more so that you don't feel like you need to prove yourself to everybody.
Or share your entire life on Instagram. But some people do. Yeah. And so align those choices that you make, not just for the sake of making some money, but because it aligns with you, right? Like you've got to really like those types of options that are required in order to make those types of businesses successsul.
Yeah.
All right, what's the third one? Freelancer.
Okay, so doing work in terms of being a graphic designer, product mock-ups, a freelancer, for our experiences, is like if you are working for somebody else online possibly, or even in person, where you're doing work where somebody asks you to do one thing and then you do the thing that they want, right?
Yeah, and you get paid for it, and you can make it as a per item delivered or per hour, and you can go to places like Upwork, and we'll put the link in the show notes as well, but upwork.com is a really good one. There's Fiverr and other places as well, but Upwork seems to be the up and coming place where you get really reputable people that are going to give you the things you asked for, and that there's a nice communication back and forth, and you feel like it's a good transaction because you're dealing with people who are online anywhere in the world, right? And so you want to also be on a platform where you get that reputation of being reputable, and obviously then you also have to deliver on what you said you would do for that person, because they keep your record right there on the platform, and so people can check you out and see, how many projects did he get really good ratings on. And so it's a really great place to basically do bit work, as I call it. Like, it's freelancing, but it's like pieces of work when you want to, how long you want to, and you both agree on a time and a deliverable. So it's a really nice option for you to get work done and earn extra money that slips in with your day job or your other commitments or your lifestyle. So what else did I want to say about that? And we already talked about the wage. So it's a cool one, but it is, as Jen said right from the beginning, you're working for someone else, right? You still have a freelance business, but you're always dependent on if that person hires you or if they like your work. And so those are the downsides of that. And you're always creating something for someone else while you're only waiting for that review. And that's the only thing that you have out of that whole interaction as what's you're building up as your business, right? And one bad review can ruin everything. So it's really important to ask yourself, is that your business model, or you just want to do a cash grab and it's not like a long-term business, it's just a couple of $1,000s here and there every month for a little while, right? Yeah. Do you have any extra comments on that?
I just wanted to say, a lot of freelancers too, you devalue yourself and you don't actually set up the boundaries at the beginning. And we've worked freelance before we were working on Zazzle and while we were working on Zazzle. And a lot of people take advantage of you as a designer because they want to bargain or they ask for many more revisions. And if you don't have that like tight contract that says, okay, every hour I'm going to charge, X amount of dollars, they're going to take advantage of you. And then at the end of the day, you have worked 10 hours, let's say, and you're only getting half of the amount of money that you should actually deserve. And it's for us as designers and creatives, we like to give in. We like to want to actually have that money that they want to give us, right? And so we don't argue with them because it's a weird bargaining system, which we've been accustomed to, which is unfortunate. And we've always been trying to tell our clients now that it's not a bargaining system. You have to set your boundaries. And if somebody doesn't want to pay the amount of money to get your work done and your experience, then it's not worth it, because freelance work can be really, really relieving and wonderful and exciting. And then on the other end of it, it can be extremely exhausting and unfortunate and just downgrading at that point. So, yeah.
Yeah. So I think that for me, I wouldn't do it forever because I'm also always working for someone else, right? Yeah. So all that, and you're working once and getting paid once. And that's the beauty of what we love about Zazzle, is that we do that work once. We can even do a comparison. We can be a freelancer and create a design that would go on a t-shirt that the other person is going to sell on one of these platforms that we're going to get to in our 6th option for a side hustle. And then those people are going to continually sell that over and over and again and profit from it continually. Whereas if you're the designer and you're just giving that work away because you want to get that 1 hourly wage, then that's the issue for me anyway, because I can't see that as being profitable, right? I'm always working once, getting paid once. I want to work once and get paid many, many times. Yeah. Okay, so the 4th one is drop shipping. And that's been something that people have accepted very quickly and easily because Shopify, which is one of the biggest platforms that you can use as a way to set up your business and do the e-commerce and so on, has done such a great job of marketing. So you say Shopify, pretty much everybody knows what Shopify is, how you can use it, and what you can do with it. And it's kind of interesting because it's actually a Canadian company, right? You know that. I don't know if everyone knows that, but yeah, we're Canadians, and like a lot of good stuff comes from Canada, right? But this Shopify platform and concept has just gone through like wildfire, spread throughout the world as a way for you as a person. You can just sign up with Shopify. We'll give you the link and then we'll make $2,000. No, just kidding. We're not an affiliate with Shopify. But yeah, remember we were talking about that in the first option. But yes, the Shopify is a option to have a platform on which to create like a website, which has e-commerce options, obviously, otherwise you can't sell. And then what you're still responsible for, and Shopify's doing things now to help people also, find the products to sell and give people more support on the back end. But initially that's what it was just basically a website with e-commerce possibility that allowed for you to take away all that responsibility and just market and source the products that you want to sell, and then deal with customer service if there's something on the back end. Because even though it's called drop shipping because you have the product listed on your Shopify store, then the person buys it, but then you have this agreement with whoever's the wholesaler to get, and then there's like a connection. That's one of the reasons also Shopify is really cool because like it's all linked up, and so when someone buys, you don't have to call your distributor. You can have it all linked, and then the distributor will take that information of the purchase and fulfill the product, right? So you're that whole system. That's why it's called drop shipping. And so you're doing more passively work with regards to the product production and then fulfillment, but you really have to do a lot of active work to be the marketer, to decide what products to actually source and sell, and also you have to pay, right? Shopify is not cheap. And so every month you have to make a minimum amount of money in order for you to continue to carry all this system that's created for you to create that Shopify drop shipping option. But if you're really good at it and you're good at shopping and and you have this kind of brings in a lot of the other pieces of options where you could be doing these individually, like blog influencer or Instagram or Facebook or TikTok influencers, that kind of marketing actually works well in conjunction with this drop shipping and Shopify option. So if that's what you are, then that's awesome. Then you should definitely be on Shopify and start working on a drop shipping business, because there's so much potential out there for you. What else do I have here? But it's, what else do I have? Oh, and then of course your earnings can be a gazillion dollars, or it could be zero, right? Depending on how well your marketing is received, what product you've chosen, etc. So it takes a lot of time to sort of get the sweet spot of where you can sell something and make something that's a sustainable, continuous product that sells, or group of products that sells to a particular niche and serves a certain demand. Do you have any more to say on that one? No. So it's a cool system, but it takes a lot of work to get started and to create that demand for whatever it is that you're going to sell. All right. Now, next, what we want to say here is they're called makers, right? When people are on this website called Etsy, if you don't know what Etsy is, it's a marketplace that's online where people who are, initially it was all very much makers, which means a physical product. Now the Etsy platform is also being used for selling digital products, or actually even being used as a way to divert to another type of fulfillment center, even though on Etsy they grab the customers. So now Etsy is getting a little bit more diverse in terms of what you can do on the Etsy platform. But initially, and this is where we want to target people who are currently on there who like making physical products, right? And who love stuffing envelopes and creating those shipping packages and feeling really good that they've labeled 1,000 packages. It makes them feel good as if they've done a lot of work. And I get that, because there's a visual component and the feeling of success. But if, on the other hand, if that's what you're doing and you're focusing in on that, ask yourself, how many more hours could you not have spent doing the fulfillment aspect of it, and the costs involved in the materials and the acquisition and the labor costs in terms of creating the products, if you had let someone else do that. Right? So we've had a lot of people come from the Etsy platform to the Zazzle platform and ask us for help, because they've sort of been overwhelmed by exactly all those things, right? Yeah. All the work involved, the cost, materials, customer service, shipping, all of that fulfillment, as it's called. And now on top of it, it's getting a little bit harder for people to get found on the on the Etsy platform. And Etsy is actually even taking listings off, which is kind of interesting. I don't understand that. And then you have to pay for your listings, right? So you're always limited to how much you want to pay to have X number of products up on the platform. And so those are sort of barriers to entry, as also barriers to success, and barriers to profitability. Is that... yeah. Oh, we're going to link our Etsy podcast, which we did because we did an actual episode only on Etsy, so we don't want to get into this too much here. We'll link that in the show notes as well, so that you can listen to that. Or just go and search through all of our podcasts when you're on your favorite listening platform, and you can find the one that has Etsy in the title, and you'll know that that's the podcast where we go deep into the comparison between what's better, Etsy or Zazzle, in terms of how you come out at the other end with being more profitable, having more time for yourself, and being able to actually earn more, because the running of the business is a lot easier and less restrictive in terms of how you can earn more money. Okay, and then that brings us to number 6, which is the last one, our favorite, and we're still going to lump in other print-on-demand companies into this, such as Redbubble, Society6, Teespring, Spoonflower. There's so many that are considered to be print-on-demand, but print-on-demand is just very simple. It means that virtually it looks like there's a product there, but really it doesn't exist. And then when the customer likes it and they want it, and they, in some cases, like on Zazzle, which is the only platform that has that capability where this customer can customize it and make it something completely different than what they originally saw, because they add their own photos or their own information, or they just change the design completely if they don't, like, just start with one piece and end up with something else. That happens to us a lot. That's when Zazzle prints it. And that's why it's called print on demand. So it's very economical. It's green, right? It's a very green business because there's no waste. And for us, they're, as the seller, or, they're calling us now creators, but it's all virtual, it's all digital. And Zazzle takes care of all the printing and customer billing and customer fulfillment, customer satisfaction, customer service, reprinting things if there's an issue. And also, Zazzle does all the work initially, right? They've got the website, so that's, we don't have to do a Shopify site. They source the products. We don't have to talk to Alibaba suppliers or any other wholesalers to get products that we can just put our designs up. And there's like 4,500 products on the Zazzle marketplace that we have to choose from any day of the week, and not like Etsy where we have to pay a fee for every listing. Our limit is 100,000 products per account, so we can just go crazy and list as many products as we want, and then have the most opportunity to sell. So even though we're on Redbubble and Society6 as well as the Zazzle platform, we found that Redbubble and Society6 are very much for people who are creative and have a style. Does that make you feel like, is that a good way to talk about it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so Redbubble really has much more traffic, and Society6 as well, because they've done a really good job of marketing it. And people know that they can go there and find a design on something, right? Depending on whatever each of the platforms sells. It's a little bit more restrictive than Zazzle, but they're coming along. But there, you don't have any customization like you do on the Zazzle platform. And the customization is what has allowed us to just skyrocket our earnings. It's because most of the things that we do on Zazzle are a customization option. And that's what Zazzle's known for, even though it has a little bit less traffic. There is still a lot of traffic that comes to Zazzle, but it's a very specific audience that wants customization. They want to do their own thing. And because of that, they're willing to pay as well. So they're more than willing to pay for extra customization fees, or to have, specifically something so unique that no one else has it, right? And because of that, we have leveraged that so well. Mm-hmm. And what else do you want to say about that? What did I miss in terms of all the things we've got listed? It's done for you. It's passive. There's no listing costs. There's no sourcing products. No need to do customer support. Although they have a chat, but if you want to, you can just defer that to Zazzle, because they have so many things that are there to help the customer. You can add as many designs as you want, as up to 100,000 products. The only thing that you need to do is market online and add the designs onto the products, obviously, right? And it sounds so simple, but it's still a big piece of work. So imagine all of these other passive income opportunities also having pretty much that piece of the Zazzle thing that belongs to us as responsibilities, and adding all of that other responsibility in these other options that we just discussed with you for passive income or online businesses that could make you $1,000 a month. And Zazzle also, for some reason, is getting a bad rap that people can't make a lot of money on the Zazzle platform. But we have proven that over the last 4 years with our coaching program, that our clients, our top sellers, have made over $3 million in payout already. So that means that they've sold about $30 million worth of products on the Zazzle platform from our grouping of coaching clients that we know of, that because it's obviously more, but from our perspective in terms of who's told us from our coaching clients what they're making, that's a number. And that's not anything to laugh at, right? That's already double what we've done over 14 years, and they've done it in the last 4.
Yeah. No, that's amazing. Yeah.
So we're really proud of that, and we hope that with giving you some insider tips on these, as in addition to giving you some ideas as to how you can make $1,000 a month, we've given you some really great food for thought. So thanks so much for listening, and we will see you next time.
Yeah. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next episode of the Creative and Ambitious Entrepreneur Podcast. Bye.